This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called The Hand of Abyzou. It was written by Stuart Boon, and it's from Shadows over Scotland. Our keeper of arcane lore is Joseph Clay, and this is episode 1. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Joe?
Thank you, Tom. So it is September 23rd, 1920. About 3 weeks ago, each of you received a letter in the mail, and it's detailing the mental breakdown of a business colleague of yours, Professor... Oh, Lord.
Ashbury?
Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. Professor Ashbury. So he is a world-renowned authority on snake cults, and you've worked with him in the past, or you've known him for quite some time. He's not the adventurous type. He's not someone who jumps into something needlessly. You remember him as a very level-headed and fair professor, and a very level-headed colleague. If you did work with him on archaeology digs or hired him to decipher, he always delivered when you asked him to, and he never gave you any issue. And that's very, very much to the surprise of why he's currently committed. And that's what the letter says, that he had some type of breakdown and he was committed into an insane asylum. There is a detail in the letter that sparks interest, that he had run to his society in Edinburgh, and while he was recounting what was happening, the doors flung open, and a glowing man seemed to do something to Ashbury before just walking out of the room. So there's a lot in this letter. It's about 2 pages, and it spurs you to action, whether you want to figure out what's going on with your friend, or you want to figure what's going on with a business dealing that Ashbury was working on before this happened. So the first person we're going to take a look at is Mr. Alistair Murphy. Alistair, you're currently in Glasgow.
Yes.
And you're briefly reading over a newspaper of hundreds and hundreds of bodies that were recently found in the Glasgow infirmary. On the right, you see a letter that you got a few weeks ago, and behind you is your suitcase. You're getting ready to head to Edinburgh. So what is on your mind, and tell me what your character's doing.
Alistair is, with the news of these bodies turning up, being an investigator, it strikes him as a little bit out of the ordinary. I think he wants to see if maybe there's some kind of connection between what was going on and what's going on here.
That was a tie-in to my last one. That's already been investigated. Sorry, you were just reading in the newspaper what happened. My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So could you repeat it for me, please?
So you're just getting ready to leave. I apologize. You're getting ready to leave. You were just reading over the newspaper, and then you're reading the letter that you got from Dr. William McAlpine, who was the close colleague of Dr. Ashbury.
Okay. So Alistair has met Dr. Ashbury once. He hired him to look into some people. He called this a cult, and looking into it, there are some strange folks. Nothing out of the ordinary for him. So I think upon hearing this, um, he just probably kind of springs into action a little bit to get to be able to go and find out what's going on.
Okay.
It strikes him as something. It's getting his mind working, and that's something that always gets him supercharged. He likes mind puzzles.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right, so you're on your way. The next on the list, all the way from London, who he received his letter, is Charles Xavier III.
Yes. Name's Charles Xavier III. I studied under Professor in my time at university, and he's become not only a colleague but a mentor of mine. After I went away to the war and was stationed over in Egypt in the Suez Canal campaigns, I kept in contact with him and continue to this day. So any needs that he needs are become my needs. So I'm coming to meet him or find out what's happened immediately.
Awesome. And from Chicago, we have Dr. Matthew Brady. So, Dr. Brady, how do you know Dr. Ashbury?
The good Professor Ashbury and I were colleagues together at Yale in our postgraduate studies. Actually, we're more friends and colleagues than anything else. So my concern for him is more of a personal nature. Reading the details of the letter, I worry that some trauma may have caused a mental disorder, or possibly he's developed schizophrenia. So I'd like to go, interview him and see what's going on.
Okay. And Daniel Hargrave, another professor from Arkham, Massachusetts. So you received this letter, and you're kind of in a rush because you're trying to make a deadline to get over there. So what is your character doing?
Indeed. Well, I mean, I'm very intimately familiar with Professor Ashbury. We co-authored a number of books together. The Anthropology of the Primitive Peoples of the Amazon Basin, and the Witchetty Grub Tribe of Australia and their cultic beliefs. I'm quite distressed that he's been hospitalized. He never came across as a wild man of any sort. And I've got the fastest steamer to get over there as I can get. I'm sure he may have simply become overly zealous. There's a lot of crazy stories out there, and he may just need to be calmed down. Although, quite honestly, he doesn't act, this is not normal for him. He's usually the very calm one. So I'm on my way. My boat arrives tomorrow. Then I'm going to take the Flying Scotsman up to Edinburgh, and I should be there in the morning.
Okay. And last but not least, Mr. Malcolm Wallace. Malcolm, while you hold in your hand someone who needed a personal invitation, what is your character doing?
I know Ashbury. I did some work for him, and well, that work itself was rather uninteresting to me. Just defending some. He didn't pay enough for what he wanted me to do half the time. So maybe this is just out of boredom, or just maybe I can negotiate more pay. But I want to at least see if he actually got himself into some substantial trouble this time. And plus, his strangeness was somewhat entertaining, so. But Malcolm is this giant of a man with mutton chops, and he's currently reading the note with one hand and inspecting like his mineral collection with the other.
Understood. Okay. So all of you have made your way to Edinburgh to look into your friend or your coworker. You all should arrive at different times, and you handle your own affairs in the city, at least initially, when it comes to like room and board, finding supplies or stuff like that. Is there anything in particular you want to do before you meet the writer of the letter? Is there anything you want to investigate? So the writer of the letter, Mr. McAlpin, he's a member of the Edinburgh Philadelphian Society in Newtown. That was a society that your friend was a part of as well. But there's other things you can check depending on what you're interested in. Is there anything you want to research first?
Since
there are. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, since we're in Edinburgh, his office is here, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
I'm going to go make sure, just check on his office, just walk by, see if any of his belongings have been removed, see if anything has been disturbed in his time.
Okay. Okay, so you make your way to his office. You know where it is. You've worked with him before, so you're not lost. Even the secretary that kind of more or less guards the offices of the other professors, they know you because you probably worked with Ashbury and other professors in the past. You find his rooms in the theology department at the University of Edinburgh. The first thing you notice is his room is in shambles. There are books upon mountains of books going all over the room. The only place that really doesn't have books is the seat in which he was sitting. Even his desk is a mountain of books. You see manuscripts, articles, but when you look around, despite all this craziness and this chaos, there's no signs of burglary. It just seems that Ashbury, as thorough as he was, he's just extremely unorganized.
So the letter asks us to reply by post, and I would definitely make a point of announcing my arrival, and by replying in post. There are some names mentioned in the letter: Breen, Campbell, McTaggart, McAllister, and Curran. And maybe it might be worth doing kind of a cursory look to see if any of those names come up. In a search. I don't know.
Oh, you talking about in his office?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you? So I just want to know who's at his office. Is it? So it's Dr. Brady and Wallace. You guys are meeting at the office?
Sure.
Okay. So do you two know each other already?
No. And in fact, I think when I first see him, I would assume him to be like a bellboy or something, or like a bellhop. I'll just be like, oh, you can take my luggage in the car straight up to my room if you would be so kind, and just give him like a $5 bill.
I stare blankly.
I'm sorry, my good man. I took you for a servant. My mistake. And I'll hold out my hand. Matthew Brady.
Wallace. Malcolm Wallace. I just got down from, wait, would I know he's coming along with me, or, like?
You know that, that Ashbury had a lot of friends.
Okay.
So it's not surprising to see someone poking around his area. So you may not know it, but you can kind of piece it together while he's here.
Yeah. I just got down from his office. I assume you're here about Ashbury.
Of course. I came as quick as I could.
I just wanted to make sure his affairs were in order. Um,
And what did you find?
what's expected? He's very disorganized. I don't think anyone went through his stuff, though.
Very well.
If you want to go up with me, I don't know how well you know the good doctor, but I'm sure I can get you in.
We were roommates once in our postgraduate studies at Yale. That was a long time ago now, of course, but lead the way.
And I'll just lead him up into the office.
Okay. So you guys head back up into the office. Like I said, there's mountains of books. It's extremely disorganized. Part of the walls, as you can see, there are a lot of photos. Dr. Brady, you actually see yourself. You see a photo of yourself in Ashbury in your younger years, along with other graduation photos and just personal photos that he kept along with his diploma. Both of you give me a spot hidden.
See, 61. No, that's a fail.
Also a fail here.
Also, okay. So as you're looking around, you do see two filing cabinets, and there's a low table that's actually topped with articles as well. There's a bunch of papers. What you do see on top of paper is a symbol. And it looks like it was hastily drawn by the professor, and it's almost like a series of triangles. And he wrote something on the side and with an arrow, and it says left wrist.
And what do you make of this?
It's not my area of expertise. Maybe a tattoo or a brand. It says left wrist here.
Quite
I
good.
only know what I kind of absorbed from working with the doctor.
Left wrist. I'll just kind of make a mental note of the shape.
I'll just pick up the sheet and take it with me.
All right, and as you pick it up, you see, you find looks like a manuscript kind of slides out of a vanilla folder, and you will see this. I'm going to get it for you guys.
Still fascinated by the snake cults, eh? I'll read it. Excerpt from On the Proliferation of Snake Cults in Scotland, which is in quotes. I presume that's some sort of manuscript. Of one thing we can be sure. Scotland has, for one reason or another, always been a hotbed of activity for such snake cults. Whilst in the Highlands recently, I encountered an old man who, when I told him of my research into pre-Christian snake cults, he said, "If you're looking for snakes that walk upright, you've come to the right place, that's for sure." I laughed at this and bade him farewell, but as I walked a lonely path up to my hotel, a sudden thought struck me. Of course I had assumed that the old man was disparaging other men, those of us who are sometimes attributed with snake-like features or qualities, men with forked tongues, for example. But what if this old man had meant something altogether different and more literal? What if he was, in fact, suggesting that there are snake folk walking among us? Surely such thoughts are fantasy, but given man's ancient connection with the cold-blooded serpent, we can perhaps understand why such thoughts might persist.
You sound just like the doctor.
All right.
Uncanny,
Give me
isn't
a library roll, real quick.
Both of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, 16. That is I think I have a very high library use too. 45, so that's a hard.
Okay, so with that, and as you scan the books, you realize that it shows that all the books on his desk are relating to witchcraft, specifically witchcraft in the 16th and 17th centuries. One book that stands out to you is the Malleus Maleficarum, the Witch's Hammer, published in 1487, excuse me. So, just judging by the books he has, it looks like he was researching real life witchcraft, witches' covens, things like that.
No ordinary book collection, eh, Mr. Wallace?
I mean, it's not my area of expertise, I would say, but no, I mean, he was definitely focused on something. Well, this sort of witchcraft, I'd say.
All kinds of other nonsense as well.
I would consider it largely nonsense, but for me at least, it's nonsense that pays well.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, just looking through the books, like I said, they're all related to witchcraft. You do see that these books are property of the Edinburgh Philethian Society. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but you see that written out, and then on some of the books you see EPS stamped.
Do kind of like a library system, do they have stamps where you see the different people that check the books out on them?
Yes. Except for some of these older books from the 16th and 17th century, they're far too precious to have those library cards on them.
Mm-hmm. Are there any, like, consistent names among them? Like, one name, aside from the doctor, that emerged in all of them?
Not that you can see. And it seems like they're, like, the span in time between when they're used, it doesn't seem like someone's, like, getting the same book over and over and over again. I mean, as some of these books, you're seeing, like, a 10 or a 5-year jump.
Okay. It seems to just be the doctor checking all these out then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do, Professor Hargrave, you were heading to the EPS, correct?
Correct.
All right. So we're going to jump over to you. So how are you getting there?
Oh, I'm probably hailing a taxi or a cab or whatever's available.
Okay. So you find a car to take you to where you need to be, and you make it to the EPS. It's a big building. It almost reminds you of like a plantation house. It's large windows in the front. You see a large balcony on the second level. You see oil or gas lit lamps that are lining a long road that's winding up the hillside to this building. When you get to the bottom of the hill, there's a gate and there's a guard. You announce who you are. He checks his paperwork and you're expected. So he quickly lets you in, and the car takes you up to the building itself.
Okay. I get out. I pay the cabbie to thank him, and I head up towards the front door.
Okay. So you head up to the front door. No one opens it for you, but you push your way through. There are these giant double doors, gold inlaid, and it's just various things that you recognize. Some of it's like mythology, like Greek or Egyptian mythology, that's kind of just written in more like stuff they probably researched. What you do see on the dark wood that's above you as you're walking into the building are words "nothing but truth" that are inlaid into the top of the building.
Which makes sense or the name of the society, which is the Truth Society. I'll look for.
Nothing before.
There's
sorry.
there's probably a butler or a doorman or somebody inside. I imagine they have servants.
Yes. So there is a doorman. It's a short, crabby old man. He seems like he can barely get around himself, but he kind of nudges your shoulder and asks you to follow him into the lounge.
Oh yeah, so what a beautiful place. I look at all of the various accoutrements, and with my anthropology background, I probably understand most of it quite clearly.
So he says, "Yeah, you say that because you don't have to clean it." And he kind of like coughs and laughs a little bit, and he continues to lead you into the lounge. The lounge is beautiful. Again, it's all mahogany. This part is lit by electrical light. You see books all through the walls. You see some pictures. It looks like pictures of Ashbury, and there are people you recognize in different places or different groups in different areas. Like you see pictures of them in New York, pictures of them in Germany, picture of them all over the world. The doorman he sits you down, and as you look around the room, you do see there's a bar in the right corner, and there's a man there who's kind of just washing a glass. The doorman asks you, "Can we get you any type of refreshments while you wait?"
Oh, sherry, please.
Okay. Well, that's Dr. McAlpine's favorite. Works for me. And he walks over. He kind of speaks to the barman. Barman kind of looks at you, and he pauses for a second, and he kind of just like makes the drink, and it gets sent over to you.
Thank you.
All right. So you wait a little bit after a while, and then you hear running down the steps after a while. Well, it's less running. It's running for someone of his age.
Okay.
McAlpine, he's in his 60s, so he makes it down the stairs, but he looks haggard. It looks like he's been going through it, and he just walks up. "Oh, Professor Hargrave, I'm so happy that you're here."
Mr. McAlpine, how are you?
Oh, it's great to see. First one, I really would appreciate you coming. I appreciate you helping out an old colleague.
Well, Ashbury is one of our favorite people. I've worked with him many times. So you say he's had some sort of breakdown. We were deeply concerned.
Yes, I've been working tirelessly. I haven't been sleeping trying to figure this out.
Well, perhaps I can help with what you've been researching. I'm at your disposal, sir.
To be honest, I don't know what I can give you or how I can help. I mean, the letter I sent to you detailed what more or less happened. Ashbury, he made his way. He made his way here, and he told us that fanatical story, and that man appeared, and the doors were locked. You know, I locked them myself, and they were double checked by some of the staff, and they just flung open. And he walked into the room, and he pointed to Ashbury and said, "Your mind is broken."
These doors over here.
Yes, the very same that you walk through.
That's very strange. It almost sounds. Well, there's one of two possibilities. One of them is far more remote. The possibility is that it's some sort of conjuring trick that's been perpetrated against our poor Ashbury. The other is that some form of witchcraft. But I'm inclined not to believe in such things. Lots of cultures have things, but the same cultures have a lot of tricks up their sleeves to make it seem like they've got power and magic.
Exactly. I and you know I've done what I can. It's just when the word witchcraft is used, everyone gets uncomfortable.
Of course.
What Ashbury told me, my plan was to publish a news article to more or less lure them out, or these people that he said that were coming after him. But before I could publish that, the police got involved and they denied it. I don't know what to do. I'm at your disposal. You have a room here if you need it. If you have access to the library if you need it.
Did Ash have a room here?
No.
Did he do
had to
any
study,
research here?
He had to study, but he very little. I mean, he was a professor. Most of his research happened at his campus.
Could I see it anyways, just in case?
Sure.
And did he have a room here as well?
Well, he had a study, and I can take you to that if you'd like.
Yes. I agreed with you in the letter that there was nothing in Professor Ashbury's demeanor that would seem to indicate that he was unstable in any way. I mean, I did a number of researches with him. We worked on that Witchy Grub cult thing, and he was always very stable and very he never went in for believing in any of these cults. Do you have any idea where he was investigating? Said something about the vaults under the city.
He did say something about the vault, but you have to understand, when he came here, he was one place over the other. We tried to calm him down by just like having him breathe. We tried to calm him down with spirits. Nothing was working, and when it seemed like we were finally getting a breakthrough, we finally got him to calm down. All we heard, and as he was saying that, you hear a loud knock on that same door that you came from, and the McAlpin, he kind of like stands up straight because it's almost like it takes him back to that night, and he's like, I'm sorry, there's someone at the door. If you want to follow me down after you're done here, I'll be more. We can continue our conversation, but I'll leave you to his room if you wanna search it on your own.
Please, thank you.
All right. So go ahead and give me a roll for just a spot hidden in his room, or study rather.
We got let's see, a 60, which is my spot hidden. Oh, my spot hidden is terrible. No, fail. Nice lamp.
So the room seems rather mundane. You can tell that he spent some time here. You can see a smoking pipe that wasn't fully cleaned out. You can see some papers that that weren't properly put away. I mean, this professor, he's messy. So it's like you're actually impressed that it's this clean, but it doesn't surprise you because this particular building has staff, so he can get away with being a slob.
I'm going to grab his pipe and put it in my pocket. I'll clean it later, and maybe when we go to the asylum, I'll give it to him.
Okay. So
Piece of comfort.
You tuck that in your pocket, and as you finish in the room and you make your way downstairs, I'm not sure if your characters have met before. You and Charles Xavier.
We may have crossed paths.
Well, yeah, possibly.
Okay, so Charles, as you're coming in, you've come here before. You've met Ashbury here on multiple occasions for him to decipher something for you, or to look at an artifact, or to appraise something, so you know who who to go to or who to fence it to. He set you on his way. A lot of your escapades have paid for a lot of things, a lot of the nicer things that are in this building. So you feel more or less at home. So you walk through, and the doorman does the same for you. He takes you to the lounge. Yep. As you're coming to the lounge, however, you do see someone else that you know, and that's going to be Dr. Monte Albans. He is the director of this society, the EPS, and he walks up to you and is like, Xavier, what are you doing here?
Albans, I was called here. What is going on with Ashbury? Let's get the man out, man. Let's go. He cannot be in the state that you declared him in. I've received this letter, and this is unimaginable. We must get him out immediately.
Ashbury is where he needs to be. He's in an asylum. He has the best doctors around him. We've been assured that he's in perfect safety. But all this investigations, all this nonsense about witchcraft and people using spells, it discredits the EPS, and it makes us look like fools. And I won't stand for it.
Nobody had a sharper mind than Ashbury. This cannot be accurate. I must see him. We have to go. Who can take me there, or do I have to go myself?
Excuse me. Is it Mr. Xavier? I think
Yes.
I've met you before. I'm sorry I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. I'm also here because of Professor Ashbury. He was a good friend of mine, a colleague. We've worked together on things. I'm also deeply concerned about his current state.
Good man. Let's. Do you have anybody else that you brought with us? Let's go see him and get him out of the asylum. There's no place for that man.
I'm not sure they'll let him out that easily, but I'm trying to get to to find out what's gone on that's put him in this state. There were witnesses that saw this strange person come through those very doors there and cast some sort of mesmerism on him. Now, he might be, my theory is that either, my strongest theory is that somebody has bamboozled him. Somebody has tricked him into believing something and then reinforced it with skullduggery. And it's caused him to have a mental break. But I'm with you. I would like also to go and see him. I've brought along his favorite pipe.
Ah, good man. So we should go see him because, like you said, he's some skullduggery or some drug or something like that. The man is impeccable with his mind. He should not be where he is. So
I agree.
I would like to assess it for myself if everybody seems to be saying that he has some kind of issue, because I just can't believe it.
I appreciate your fervor. You didn't see what I saw. You didn't see his eyes roll back in his head. You didn't see his jaw go slack. And he's been catatonic ever since. I can't stop you from going to the hospital, but I don't know what you might find.
Dr. Albans, was it?
Right, so there's two gentlemen in the room with you, too. Albans is the director of the EPS, and McAlpine, he is a member of the EPS. Yeah. He's a pharmacist, though.
Dr. Albans, I can appreciate you have to be concerned for the overall society as opposed to any one member, but we'll handle it from here. We need to see if we can help our friend. It's not that we don't believe you. We do believe you, but we want to investigate further. Mr. Xavier, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
I wonder if any of his other friends have shown up.
We're going to jump to another group. I swear I'm going to get you guys together. You don't see it, but I do. I promise. Anyway, so we're going to jump over to the other two because I know two of you wanted to go to his house. But before we get to that, there's two of you who are at his office. Where are you going after that?
Is there anybody present at the office?
No. So yeah, those of you who went to the office, you two just met each other, but there's no one else there present. So you have the run of the room.
Well, I honestly was here to establish that his office wasn't ransacked or anything was stolen, which I believe everything is in order. If so.
Everything is in order except for this stack of books on witchcraft. We need a large rubbish bin and something to light a fire with.
I don't tend to subscribe to any opinion, whether that be witchcraft or not, but if you want to do so, you're the one who's going to be paying the doctor back.
Both of you give me a spot hidden check.
Okay. 46, and my spot hidden is 35. That is a negative.
It's a hard success for me, 16 under 45.
So as you're talking to Dr. Brady, you kind of rest on the windowsill for a moment. It's not many places you can rest. The place is full of books, but you find some rest. As you're doing that, you kind of glance behind you, just looking out onto the street, and you notice that there's someone at the street light, and they're just smoking a cigarette. At first you're like, are they watching me? And then someone just walks up to them and starts talking to them. So you don't really, you kind of like shrug it off. But this same person stays there staring at your window for a good while. It's almost as if he can't, because of the backlight of the light in the room, he can't tell that you're looking at him. So he's just staring right into that room.
How did that interaction look with that person? Does it look like the person smoking and staring? I don't know if you said they were smoking, but them staring, did it look like they deflected the person that walked by them, or?
Actually, no. They looked like they laughed a little bit.
Was it like I don't know. So, does it look like they knew each other?
It looks like it looked like someone who met someone who they're familiar with, but they didn't have time to talk to. So it was just a quick joke and move on, if that makes sense.
Doctor, you're a doctor, right?
Dr. Brady, yes.
I think we're being watched, or at least this room is being watched.
That's rather odd, isn't it? I'll have a look out the window. Is a person still out there on the street?
Yes.
Oh, who do you suspect that is?
Maybe some rival of Dr. Ashbury's.
A rival? What gives you that impression?
I mean, of all the places to sit, this is the place. Do they look like a student or another
They look
faculty?
to be in their early 30s.
Okay.
Maybe we should go talk to him.
I agree. Let's go down there.
Yeah, we'll go downstairs and we'll go out to the street.
And I'm going to do my best to, lock up the office. Yeah, I don't know how well I can do from the inside, but...
you could definitely lock it from the inside, but you don't have the key. But if you want to take the time to speak with some of the other professors or some of the other people that are in the building, they can get a lock for you. But it's going to take you just a little bit of time to find someone who has that specific key.
Yeah. I'm just trying to secure it for, Dr. Ashbury isn't really present, so...
Okay. So you do eventually find someone who has that key. You lock up his office and you head down about 3 or 4 flights of stairs. Once you hit the ground level, you walk out into the courtyard, and across on the other side of the courtyard is that street light. There isn't currently anyone there.
So the person walked away.
I'm gonna see. This might be a bit of a reach, but I'm gonna go under there and see how many like still lit or warm cigarettes are there under that street light. To kind of, were they smoking?
Yes.
Okay,
And
I want to see
they're-
how many warm cigarettes are under that street light to judge how long have they actually been watching that window.
I won't make you roll for it. It's about 20
Yeah,
freshly smoked cigarettes under that street light.
I'll kind of kick them and point them out to Dr. Brady. There was definitely someone. Are they all the same brand?
Yes.
Dr. Brady, I think we're being watched.
I think you're right.
And this is even more out there. How many, like, burnt out ones or old ones are the same brand? Does it look like this person has come here multiple days?
Yes, there are some that look have been stamped from people walking over them, where the tar is kind of pushed through the paper, and if you look for older ones, there are plenty.
This, at least the office has been watched.
At least a week. At least a week.
Oh, now that is interesting.
Maybe Dr. Ashbury was at least onto something or stepping in the wrong territory.
Maybe. Maybe it's just a concerned friend. Who knows?
I think a concerned friend would at least make an effort to go inside.
This is true. But we don't know the circumstances.
It is true.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else we can do here, except, go back into the office and explore it more.
Okay. So, you guys want to go back into the office, or are you going to move on?
Where would we move on to?
So you do know about the EPS that was in the letter, and you did receive a personal invitation there for at least room and board.
Okay, yeah,
I-
then I
I
think,
think-
we'll move on.
I agree. Should we catch a cab together? Cheaper.
Very good.
All right. So moving on to Alistair Murphy. You are alone, and you have made the decision to head to Ashbury's house.
Boy, I want to go and check out where he lives. Oftentimes, these intellectual types, at least what I've known of him when I worked up for him before, he likes to bring his work home. Also, with this letter has me thinking. He's investigating a cult. I don't know a lot about cults, but I've investigated a lot of organizations, and they do tend to be up to a lot of criminal activity. And I want to see if perhaps his home's been broken into. Also, I want to see if maybe there's something in there that might kind of point me in the right direction.
Okay. So you make it to his house. It's a decent, respectable townhouse. You see that the curtains are half closed. You see a small garden in the front of the house that's been neglected. You also see you see bottles of milk piling up on the step, which signals to you that no one's been home for quite some time.
Well, before I approach the house and try to possibly make an entry, I want to look at the door, maybe a few of the windows. Do I see any pry marks? Anything where it looks like someone's tried to break in?
Good question. Go ahead and give me spot hidden. Let's see.
Alrighty. It's going to be a 56 on a 60, so that's a success.
So that's a success for you?
Oh,
So you do notice that there, because you're heading through the back door to get in, which is
absolutely. I'm not trying to go through the front door. I don't want to draw attention.
got you. So this is the kitchen door. You see what look like new scratches that are on the door. They're different from the style because when the same person goes into the same door, they often leave the same marks. So these are noticeably different, and they seem to be outside of Ashbury's habits.
I want to test the door. Is it unlocked?
As you test the door creaks open.
I'm going to gently push it in and just kind of poke my head in a bit and see what I see immediately. And what I
Do you have a torch, flashlight, anything like that?
I have a flashlight. Yes, I'll carry a torch on me all the time.
All right. So as the door pushes open, I won't make you roll because you're a PI. You notice a smudge of mud near the doorway. But this is fresh compared to the dirt, the dust, the dirtiness of the house.
Has it rained recently? Is it wet? Is it muddy outside?
It's moist.
I'm gonna draw my pistol.
Okay.
And I'm gonna gently walk in as quietly as I can.
Okay. So you enter the room. So you scan the kitchen. You don't see anything jumping out at you so far. It just seems like it's fallen in disrepair because no one's been cleaning it.
Right. Is this a one-story house or a two?
This is a two-story house.
Two-story house. I do want to make a very quick sweep of the house to make sure there's no one downstairs. I'm looking for an office or his bedroom, but I don't want to be snuck up on. So I want to make sure there's no one else in the house with me.
Okay. So you sweep the bottom floors. You go through he's like a map room. He has like a foyer and everything. This is a small house, but you sweep the bottom floor. You don't find anything other than dust, and the only footprints you're really seeing are your own as you're going through.
Okay.
However, as you're going through, you hear the floorboards creak above your head.
Okay. I'm going to slowly make my way up the stairs, gun in front of me, trying to prepare myself for anything that might jump out at me. And if there's an intruder, besides myself.
Okay. So, give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Is that a thing? That's a thing.
Never had to do a lot of stealthing. I'm not super good at this. You know what? I'm going to spend 8 luck points and make that a success.
Okay. So, you, Tom, and Jerry, your way up the steps, and you make it to the top of the steps, and you hear some scurrying. As you go up the steps, you find it difficult because you have to almost go up backwards because as you're going up the steps, there's a bedroom on your left. There's another bedroom behind you. There's another bedroom on the left ahead of you, and then there's a bathroom that you can see, and then a bedroom all the way down the hall.
Well, it's a tactical nightmare.
Yes.
This isn't my first one.
So, um, you're stressed a little bit. Is
A
there
little bit.
any door? I mean, how I describe it. Is there any door you want to focus on?
Um, I'm going to go to the nearest one that I don't want to pass by a door that I have access to because that's a very easy way for someone to sneak up behind you. The nearest one, I'll open it quickly, make entry and clear, and come back out.
Okay. So you make entry on the bedroom. Do you make any noise? Are you trying to be completely quiet?
No, I'm trying to be quiet. I don't want to give myself away, but I'm also not foolish enough to think that the person who's in here might supposed to be here, and I don't want to accidentally harm someone who is not necessarily a bad person. But I don't want them to attack me as well if they are.
Okay.
So I will try to be as quiet as possible.
Okay. So you're as quiet as possible. You still hear scurrying. There's a door between these two bedrooms, and you can hear the scurrying in the next one, in the next bedroom. How are you going to get? Do you want to go towards the scurrying or around it?
No, I'm going to go towards the skirting. This is what if I know that it is on the opposite side of this door, I'm going to open the door and step in quickly, and I will at that point announce myself and assess if it's a threat or not.
Okay. So as you enter this room, you find a young woman who is startled by you, and she starts screaming and shrinking into the corner.
Oh, please don't scream, don't scream.
And she said,
I'll
I'm sorry. I didn't. No one's lived here for a long. I'm just so hungry, and I was just so cold. I'm sorry.
I'll immediately put the weapon away. Put my hands in front of me like this. I apologize. I'm simply here trying to investigate what's happened to the good professor. What's your name?
I'm sorry. And she just keeps screaming, I'm sorry, and like she keeps
It's okay. It's okay.
shrinking into the corner.
I'm not. I don't want to approach her and make it worse, but I do want to make myself as non-threatening as possible and get her to please stop making so much noise.
Okay. So how are you going to calm her down? What is your plan?
I want to lower my voice. Try to de-escalate. Like, mom, look, it's okay. I'm not necessarily supposed to be here either. I got a letter about the good professor. I just came by to make sure all of his things were okay, and that check on his place while he's out. Please, no, you don't need to scream. Is there anything? What is your name?
Please don't hurt me. It's a.
Oh, absolutely not. I have no intention of hurting you.
Okay. My name is Esme, and I'm just cold, and I just wanted to find a place to sleep.
Oh, Esme that's fine. How long have you been staying?
I'll leave. I promise. I'll leave.
How long have you been staying here?
I don't know. Maybe a few days.
Is there anything other than the fact that how well is she dressed?
Not too well. She looks like she's wearing dirtier clothes with like rabs draped over her shoulders.
Esme, how long have you been here? You said a few days?
Yes. Just a few days.
Did you know the person who lived here?
No, I don't know anything. I'm just here to sleep.
Well, how did you know that you could come in here? There wasn't going to be anyone in the
She
house.
blows powder in your face immediately and runs out the room. So I need a power roll from you.
Okay. All right. That is going to be a failure.
Okay. So you're going to go on a little trip. So you're at first you're just like kind of like trying to push yourself away, and then you're doing what a cop would do. I mean, you were just attacked, so you're trying to assess
Hmm.
the situation. You're trying to see where
Absolutely.
she's going, and but all that is kind of fading away. All your training is like fading away, and everything feels dull, and everything's moving slower, and then your arms feel slower, and then your head feels slower, then your eyes blink slower, and eventually you just fall. Um, but you begin to see it's almost like nightmares. So you find yourself in a dark cave where you can hear the dripping of water. You can hear your footsteps on the bedrock as you're walking through these dark tunnels that you don't have a light uh, to shine on, and you're feeling your way through this. And at first, everything feels uh, like cave, like a wet cave wall. Um, but then it starts feeling more and more like snake scales. And when you make that realization, you kind of like you're taken aback, and the scales kind of move fast, and you almost feel like something is like coiling around you. And then that feeling gets more and more and more and more prominent as you feel like you cannot breathe, and you're just and you're just sitting there, you're choking, and you're kind of grabbing to try to like pull yourself out of this situation, and then eventually you're plunged into water, and you're being dragged into the water. Um, and eventually you get out of the water. Whatever was coiled around you, it lets go, and you just start running. You don't know where, you don't know where to. You just start running, and you continue to run, and you continue to run, and you eventually, what it seems like you've been running or and hiding for days, but eventually you find your way out. As you find your way out, you're sickened by the smell of stale food, and you're just walking down the streets until you begin to like walk again with purpose, and you see the building that you've probably seen before because you're a cop in this area. You see the building of the EPS. Um, and as you're
I
run
actually see
the
the
building,
actual. Oh wow.
you see the building, and you run up to the building, and you burst through the doors, and in there is McAlpin and Albans, and you start trying to rattling off your story, and that is essentially you're living the story you read in the letter, but from Ashbury's point of view. So you're trying to tell the story, you can't get it out fast enough, and eventually you don't know why you're afraid, but as soon as the doors swing open behind you, you're just filled with terror, and you shrink into your seat, and you see this man with this bright aura just walking towards you, and it seems like his aura is pushing everyone else away, and there's nothing you can do. He reaches his hand out and points at you and says your mind is broken, and you feel this crazy unimaginable pain, and then you snap out of it, and you find yourself back in the dust of Ashbury's home. And I do need a sanity roll from you.
Oh, I absolutely. Oh, that's a 90.
So you're gonna lose. Starting off strong, I see. You're gonna lose 3 sanity as you wake up. You're kicking yourself because you let your guard down. You made detective because you got around. You were wise to tricks like that, but even you don't know how to explain what you just saw.
I, come. I can't believe I let it do it. That was absolutely insane. Like, none of that could be real. I actually, I just sit here for a minute. I'm trying to process. I don't. I've never experienced anything like that before.
So what is your character's plan?
Well, my plan originally was to investigate, but now, um, I think I'm just going to. Um, I want to make. I want to back. I'm gonna walk out the room. Taking my pistol back out for sure. Um, I'll make sure that is the door open? Does it look like she left the house?
She did leave the house, but the front door is wide open.
Front door wide open. I'm going to do what I originally intended on coming here. Chasing after her is not going to be a high priority right now.
So give me an intelligence roll.
Okay.
And give yourself a bonus die because you're a PI. Because I want you to pit part of what just happened together.
Okay. That's going to be a success, a regular success.
Okay. So she left the door wide open, which shows she was not confident and that was going to work.
Oh, okay.
She didn't stroll out of there like some big bad evil guy. She still booked it even after she got you good. So
is
that
any of
that she's new to whatever she used on you. That was probably more than likely the first time.
Is there any of that powder on my clothing?
Yeah, it's there's trace amounts of it on your clothing. Yeah.
One thing I want to do, let me get my handkerchief out and try to put some on it and then fold it up and secure that. I don't know what that is. But they probably need to find out because that doesn't seem like it's something just a homeless person would normally just carry around.
Right.
And then probably from there, I'm just going to find if there's an office or a bedroom, and is there anything of importance that I might find in there? It's obvious that someone's been in here. I don't know what they were doing, but is there anything about these cults in here, or is it anything that really just stands out to me?
Looking around, I mean, because right now you're towards the front door. You do notice there's a letter on the ground from the asylum. It's requesting additional information. It more or less when someone's in a hospital and they need more information on you. So it's like a formal letter, more or less hoping someone else lives with him, so they could get more information.
I'll go ahead and grab that. Put that in my pocket.
Okay.
And then if I don't find anything else, I'll start making my way to the EPS.
All right. Let's see. All right. So looking around, what you do notice is there's clean rectangles in his bookcase. So it looks like where there were objects that used to sit there, more than likely books that have been removed. You see some papers that are shuffled into odd piles. You see a map of Edinburgh. And there's a lot of marks on it that have been erased, but you can see faint pencil impressions that are still visible around certain areas like the EPS, and it's just random areas around the city. And it just looks like someone was looking there and they couldn't find anything.
Okay. I'll go ahead and is it a large map, or is it one I could probably roll up and put in an inside pocket? I'll go ahead and take that, because one of the things I was hoping to find is whether he was entering into these vaults, and that might give us a good place to start looking. If I decide to pursue that line of inquiry. But I'll take this and I'll go ahead and make my way to the EPS and meet up with the person who wrote the letter.
Okay. And you said, say what about the letter?
Meet up with the person who wrote us the letter, or the letter.
Okay. So you'll make your way out of you'll make your way out of out of his home and head to the EPS. This is around where all of you, or some of you, are leaving the EPS because you want to head to the asylum, and the rest of you are arriving to the EPS. So you more or less meet on the doorstep. Now, some of you recognize each other, some of you don't. How do you react?
I guess it would depend on which of us
Recognize one another.
Yeah.
I probably have seen Dr. Matthew Brady. So, Dr. Brady.
Oh. Dr. Hargrave, is it?
That is correct.
You two know each other?
Yes, we met.
My guess is that we're both investigating Professor Ashbury's recent problems.
Indeed.
Malcolm, you're here too?
Yes, I'm here for Ashbury.
You got the same letter?
Yes, Xavier. Shocked to see you here.
Well, I apparently got here first, and I've done what I think is a fairly decent investigation inside, and I haven't found anything. Mr. Xavier and I were going to head over to the asylum to see him directly. See if he could tell us.
Dr. Brady and I were just at his office, and, well, aside from the state of this organization, as expected, just books on witchcraft and the such.
Well, it was his field of study. He was interested in cults and perpetrators of magic. Witchcraft is simply the extension of that, so I'm not surprised.
What was the tattoo we saw Dr. Brady? And I'm going to kind of, maybe show, a sketch of it. I'm not an artist at all. So, but it's a series of, triangles. I'm going to show that to Doctor.
Involving 3 triangles.
I'm an anthropologist. Can I do a roll to see if I recognize it?
You are, Alistair.
All right. I got a 32 out of 50. That looks very much like the 3 triangles of something. I passed.
So you've seen this in multiple places. It looks like a symbol for a snake cult snake cult in Mexico. You've also seen that particular symbol repeated several times in Egyptian and Greek and motifs. You've seen that. You've heard tell that certain expeditions that have gone to the Antarctica have found that symbol. It's a symbol that's the center of a lot of arguing in
anthropological areas. Yes.
Yeah.
The symbol is an interesting one because it has been seen in multiple countries. It's an ancient symbol, but the big question in anthropology is how is it represented in so many different places, in so many different countries, from a day and age when travel was not something that people could have done. It's seen in ancient Egypt. It's seen in ancient Mesoamerica, which...
Well, what was your name, Hargrave? Both of them had pyramids, so triangles are probably pretty common.
Yes, but this particular symbol, I'd say, is something associated with a kind of a cult, possibly a snake-related cult. It would make sense since that's what his main research was on lately. And of course, considering the letter that we all received.
Gentlemen, I don't mean to intrude, but I hear you mentioning a letter. Is that one written by a McAlpine?
Yes, that's correct. I spoke with him inside.
I received a similar letter myself. It seems like this snake cult. It's something that I remember reading in that. Y'all wouldn't be happy to go to try to see the professor in the asylum soon, are you?
That's exactly why we were headed out when we walked out to the door just now.
Well, don't mind if I tag along with you.
Yes, I think we should all tag along together. There seems to be either some sort of fraud being perpetrated on the poor professor, or something else, perhaps a drug, or perhaps mesmerism. I've heard that.
Dr. Brady and I were at the office and we found evidence of someone watching that office for some time, weeks even, or
Really?
a week.
Yes.
And you guys,
Perhaps.
you guys drew out that symbol, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that still out in front of Murphy?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going, Murphy. When you see that, you remember that on the left wrist of the girl who attacked you, and it kinda
Let me
sent
go
you
ahead.
like a cold sweat. Like it make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm visibly disturbed. Do you mind if I take a closer look at that symbol, please?
I will hold it up.
I've seen that. I was at the professor's residence just not too long ago, and when I was there, just taking a poke about, I was attacked by a young lass, and she had that symbol on her, and she threw some type of powder at me, and I was almost instantly someplace else. Similar. It felt like I was reliving elements of the letter that we read that the professor was explaining.
Some sort of powder, you say?
I take the handkerchief out and begin to. There was a little bit left on my clothing. I tried to collect what I could, but it's like some kind of a narcotic.
See,
Yeah.
Grave, I told you Ashbury was fine. His mind is good. It's just some kind of drug. Let's go get him. He doesn't need to be in an asylum.
Do you have a sample?
All I have left is what's in this handkerchief, and I'll pass it over to you.
I have to get it chemically analyzed. But there are a number of cults that use hallucinogens in order to induce visions. But I would suggest that your vision was probably brought on by our understanding of the letter that was sent, coupled with the hallucinogenic effects of the drug.
Possibly, that does seem like a logical explanation for it. It felt quite real.
Well, the symbol, by the way, is called a Valknut. It's at least that's one of the names for it. That's, I believe, from the Scandinavian, where it's also been seen. But I don't know, Dr. Brady, is there something you can do to analyze the substance, or is that even going to show us anything? It's a drug, obviously.
If I can interject, I could help with that. So McAlpine steps out. I am a pharmacist. I could take a look at it.
Yes,
see if you
of
can
course.
figure out origins. It might be South American. It might be Middle Eastern.
Well,
It could be from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Where did this last get something like that? She looked homeless.
But you found her in the home?
She was had some ruse about trying to stay warm and looking for food, and I tried to calm her down, and that's when she lunged at me and threw this powder in my face and then ran off.
I think we have at least circumstantial evidence that there is some sort of cult. If you saw that tattooed on her hand.
Oh,
No, we best be careful and stick together. Let's go see our friend at the asylum. Perhaps the effects of the drug have worn off.
Yes.
And in the
Good idea.
process, I'll also take out the map that I have and show it to everyone, and explain how I found that in his home as well.
You suppose, Dr. Brady, that you could introduce some sort of drug. You are a psychiatrist that would make the persons involved suggestive so that you could, or susceptible to suggestion. And then perhaps they drugged all of the people in the front lobby and just suggested to them what they saw. And they all believe that they saw some man come through the door and use magic. And
It is possible. Yes, with the right substance and the right type of suggestion, yes, it could be quite a potent effect.
a little de jour de mange. And yeah. All right. Shall we then, gentlemen?
Let's.
All right. So you gentlemen make your way to the. Excuse me. You make your way to the Royal Edinburgh Asylum for the Insane.
Yes, that's where we're going.
Yeah. So it's a multi-story Victorian building. As soon as you walk in, you don't want to be here. You can just have that feeling. It's very uncomfortable. The air itself, it's like a miasma of just sadness.
Horrible smells.
Yeah. So when you make it to the desk, you say who you wanted to see. You want to see Ashbury. They say, but unfortunately, he can't accept visitors. Or you, not that he can't accept them. He can't. He's catatonic.
Well, Dr. Brady here is a psychiatrist. I'm sure he has authority to get us in. We'd like to see for ourselves.
I will try. Yeah.
Very well. So you're gonna have to sign in here. So they give you the book to sign in. All of you are required to sign in, and then they're gonna lead you to the west wing of the hospital, and that is where Ashbury is currently located. So when you get there, you see you're led to a large room, and in the room is Ashbury and about 5 other people, all of them catatonic.
I'm going to.
Drugs are these people on?
No drugs. They came here like this, or they dealt with something violent and they retreated into their minds. No one came here like this. This is a result of something bad.
Who's the treating doctor? Could you bring him for a few minutes?
So they don't currently have a treating doctor yet. Most of these were transfers from the Royal Infirmary, so we haven't had a chance to fully to dive into them just yet.
I'd like. Go ahead.
So I'd like to move close to Alistair and just so the nurse can hear say that. Do you see any evidence of the powder on the doctor?
Well, I'll take a look, but probably they cleaned him up at this point. But I will take a look.
I mean, you take a look, but you don't see anything. He has been washed. You can see orderlies in the room dealing with the other catatonics, and they're moving them to prevent them from having sores. So he is being taken care of, but no powder on him so far.
I'm going to ask the brutiest of the orderlies. to join us for a moment. I want to try something. And once he's over with us, I'm going to go up and sort of lean down over over Professor Ashbury, and I'm going to take his pipe and I'm going to put it under his nose and say, Ashbury, Ashbury, what's happened? And see if it has any effect on his nervous system. I don't have any idea if that's going to do anything, but it sounds cool.
So you do that, and at this point he's just staring out into the distance, and you get the you didn't clean it out, right? You just have it.
No, I got it, and it smells like his pipe.
So you put his pipe under his nose, and he just kind of sits up, and he just keeps saying down, 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 down.
It's all right, Ashbury. We're here with you, your friends.
He keeps saying the word down.
Down. Down where? Down underground? Nothing.
When you say that, he starts to like cry and sob, and like that upset him, and he's just like down, 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 and he's just starts shaking and crying, saying down.
Do I have any kind of sense of what might be going on with this guy in terms of medical conditions?
You can give me a psychoanalysis?
Psychoanalysis?
Mm-hmm.
I have good psychoanalysis. I got a regular success.
Okay. So, in your expert opinion, his mind has been dismantled. And it's trying to put itself back together. But it's like putting a puzzle together and you're missing half the pieces.
Huh. Something
Perhaps if we
scrambled this man's memories.
We got a reaction out of the pipe, maybe there's other personal items that might help him pull himself together.
I want to walk up to him. I do means a highly educated man, but I'm pretty fair at functional psychology. Run into a lot of that in my line of work. I want to open up the map. I want to put it in front of him. Professor,
Let me see it.
what is this?
So it takes you a while to kind of force him to look at it, because he is like rocking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
When you do, he screams when he sees the map.
Good Lord, man, put that away.
And then he kind of runs over to the corner and literally just runs into the wall.
Well, we've got an orderly there. Does he grab him before he can hurt himself?
He does.
Well, that wasn't necessarily the best idea. I'm gonna go back over here.
So at that point, he grabs that orderly, and then the other catatonics, they all start saying the word down, and they're thrashing in their beds. So now there's more orderlies pouring into the room, and they're all trying to hold all these five other people down, other than Ashbury as well, and all of them at the same time have a seizure.
In this chaos, remembering what Alistair said about the tattoo, do any of the patients or orderlies have the same tattoo?
So Ashbury has the same tattoo.
Maybe I'll point that out. I'm gonna point that out to Alistair.
Yeah, he said that he
Join the cult.
had joined the cult.
Yeah.
The
One of the
other
Devant ones or something.
catatonics don't.
How about orderlies? No orderlies have it.
Yeah, and none of them are hiding their wrists or anything like that.
Yeah. So now we've got something a bit more than just an attack
Understanding check,
on
by the way. I forgot about that. That was
an attack on Ashbury. We've got some sort of conspiracy. They're hurting people with whatever this drug is.
Or contagion.
I mean, like a
that's-
disease.
Maybe they're infected with something.
I hope not, because we're all standing here poking.
Well, the thing that's
Right.
confusing me is you saying that his office had been watched, that it wasn't someone actively going through it. It's like they were waiting on someone to arrive there.
Yeah, something is very suspicious here.
I actually
Mr.
got my
Murphy,
hackles
what-
up.
Mr. Murphy, what's your profession? Are you an investigator?
I've been doing this a long time.
Then we have another common thread, if you don't mind me pointing it out. And that's the letter that we all received to bring us here. Maybe they were waiting for us to arrive.
Possibly. That's actually a fair point. But for what purpose? I know bringing us here, but why bring us here?
So a doctor does finally arrive after this, the great seasoning, we'll call it.
Sure.
You're politely asked to leave. They say you can come back later. You're not like banned or anything, but with everything that just happened, they need to get everything together. They say, we'll have Ashbury in a room on his own next time, so we can try to avoid this. We don't know what just happened.
Well, he seemed to have a reaction to an object that belongs to him, and this is keep this with him. We'll bring more stuff from his, more of his belongings. See if it helps him to come back.
Has this happened to the other patients before? Or is this an isolated incident?
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Does the doctor have the tattoo?
No.
Okay.
So if we have to leave, and we're leaving, I'm going to say, I'll admit that the reaction of the other patients does sort of seem spell-like they're all under some sort of influence. And they all reacted at the same time.
Yeah, I could understand them all saying down, 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 coughing, but all of them have a seizure at the same time. That was a bit odd.
Yeah. Maybe there's
I'm
something
not
to it.
doctor, but that's definitely odd.
That is very strange.
I suppose there are things that we just don't understand. And maybe there's a bit of truth to the occult, except that it's misunderstood as, magic. What next? What shall we do? Down, 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 down. What does that mean?
Are any of you familiar with these Edinburgh vaults? I've never heard of them.
Underneath the castle? Let's look them up. We've got a library.
I would love to know whether, if possibly the points on this map are maybe places he was looking for instances or points of interest. It'd be somewhat to start.
We also have the names from the letter, the series of names.
We have
Breen, Campbell, McTaggart, McAllister, and Curran or Curran.
sounds like some research to be done at the library.
We should go to both the library and any sort of record hall so we can both look at the locations.
Hall
and
of records.
names.
Yeah. That sounds like an idea. Should we split up, or should we? I'd feel safer if we all stuck together at this point.
Having already been attacked once, I think I like your idea.
And we'll keep an eye out for strangers watching us.
All right.
So I think library and then Hall of Public Records.
Okay. So to the library. So Edinburgh Public Library stands across from the National Library of Scotland, just off George IV Bridge. It's actually an old bank, and you can tell as you're like walking in, like some of the architecture had to be retrofitted to be a little bit more welcoming. You're welcomed by librarians almost immediately. It seems like there's always one that's available. And what are you looking for in the library? Because there's a large number of books, a large, like from all time periods. What are you looking for specifically?
I think that we should look for references to the Edinburgh vaults under the castle. And we want to see if we can find a map and see if it matches the map that we have.
Also, is there a periodical section here?
Yeah.
Newspapers? I like to look to see if there's been any increased people being brought into hospital for these type of catatonic states. If there's been an increase in that lately.
I think also we should look to see if the symbol, the three triangles, correlates with any of the vaults or records of the vaults.
We can also look for those names to see if they've shown up in any newspaper articles or anything like that.
There you go. So I tell the librarian that what I'm looking for. If she would know where maps. Go ahead.
Give me a library use roll.
I got an 11 out of 75.
Okay.
Is that a...
That's sufficient. So with that, you get a lot. You find a lot of stories about.
That's
these
an
vaults.
extreme. Yeah.
Yeah. You find a lot of stories about these vaults. Most of the stories you're finding it's a scene of a murder, or some type of essay, thievery, or homelessness, but nothing directly related to like witchcraft or cult activity.
Do they give a map of the vault? The vault areas?
You do see mentions of people trying to map them out, but it's very hard. And there's a large percentage of stories you see of people disappearing in the vaults.
So I don't find any maps. But let's see if are there entrances to the vaults that are at least mapped?
Yes, it does mention entrances, but most of the ones in these books, since they're older, it says they were declared sealed up. There seems like there's a clear effort from the local government to close these areas up to keep people safe.
Sure. If I could find something that shows the locations, however, I could see if it might correspond to things on the map that we found.
So, I mean, you can with looking at the periodicals, you can more or less match up areas where these murders were happening, and you can kind of correlate where you're reading where the vaults are located. It's not hard to find the vaults, but that's the problem. There's multiple entrances. There's one actually not far from this library. The problem is there's multiple entrances, there's multiple exits, and you don't know in what part, if this code exists, where it is.
Right.
The Edinburgh vaults are only dwarfed by the Parisian catacombs.
Catacombs. Yeah.
GM, in my stupor that I came out of, when I came out of and went to the EPS, where did I exit from?
You don't remember the building you exit from, but you do remember the smell of stale food and like low, mediocre beer.
Tavern, maybe. I assume we're all sitting around trying to figure these things out.
Well, it seemed like when I came, the hallucination I was having was reliving what the professor did. That might actually be a good place for us to start. It's just a thought.
If we can start at the society and figure out tracing it back where he came from.
Because Ashbury came from there and went straight into, just like I did in my hallucination.
My friends, we have this list of names here from the letter. Perhaps if we find their addresses, we can cross-reference them to the tunnels. Is there any connection there? I mean, it's out there, but it's a theory.
I wonder too if there are people who have in their basements access to the tunnels.
So, looking into those names, you do find fleeting records. A lot of these people are immigrants or people who aren't Edinburgh natives. There is some property in their name, but the property has recently been sold within the past 5 years. And you see that trend constantly after you look name after name.
Are there any first of all, does that property like overlap or connect with the tunnels? And secondly, if there's photos of those people, I assume they have the tattoos since they're in the coven. But are there any like connections with those?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
Sorry, do the properties look like they might be over the tunnels?
The properties seem to be in random places. They're nothing big like these estates or like the EPS.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are like one room shanties or like duplexes, things like that.
And if there are photos of these people, do they have the tattoo? If I find it.
You're not seeing any photos.
Okay.
So, did we confirm if any of these entrance locations match with the map? Or does it seem like the map locations are something else?
So it does match with the map, but it looks like he kind of went down the same rabbit hole that you're going down, searched the areas, and that's why he erased them. Because you're using like a piece of paper and some lead to like get the imprints again, and he's erasing places that you could let's say you spend time going to, and they're sealed up.
Now, are there marks on the map that are not erased?
No.
Well, I think it might be safe to say that at least these locations are. We don't have to worry about them.
Since we're in the library and we're researching this, these vaults under the castle, who built them? Were they built when they constructed the castle, or were they there beforehand?
They were there beforehand.
Romans? Did the Romans build them, or are they older still?
So the vaults itself, the Edinburgh vaults were built around 1785. So they weren't built by the Romans. They were built deliberately by the city.
Their purpose to hide something, or
Well, they were meant to kind of like expand the city. Merchants, cobblers, even
I
like
see.
tavern owners. They utilized the vaults for workshops or dry storage. But the problem was they were made poorly. Like the vaults themselves are made out of a porous stone and absorb water, and it filled with like damp air. So it ruined a lot of the stores and stuff like that. And most businesses abandoned them by the 1820s.
And then homeless people moved in there, and pirates and smugglers, and they
Exactly.
finally
Empty
just sealed
wells.
them all closed. The perfect area for some weird cult.
And also in the letter, it says that there was a section. I mean, as fanciful as his tale was, if there's any truth to it, that a section. Look, it wasn't. He said it wasn't made by a man. It was like it was created by something else. Who knows? Especially if he was on some kind of hallucination.
I think that our poor professor has been drugged and or fiddled with, and we would like to try to find the antidote, or at least some way to help him. And we might have to seek out this cult and force the information out. If we can expose them to the light, then they'll be kind of ruined if the newspapers get a hold of the information. And
Keeper, I have a question. Do I suspect that if I were to attempt to put one of these guys under hypnosis, I might actually be able to get them to open up or respond in any way?
That's an interesting idea. I mean, you can definitely try that.
I think I would like to.
Being catatonic, it's difficult to deal with. So I mean that's probably your best bet. Seems like the pipe, while it did give a reaction, it gave an adverse reaction. So
Oh, maybe we could try something besides a pipe, a simple pocket watch or something,
I think your
Or
hypnosis idea is a great one.
thank you, Dr. Hargrave.
where do you guys want to go? You want to go back to the asylum?
Maybe not just yet, but soon. Yeah.
Probably won't
Okay.
let us in just yet. Tomorrow.
Okay. So where are we heading now? Because if you continue to just look through the library, one thing you're probably looking at is, and it was mentioned in the original letter that was sent by McAlpin, was the Hand of Abyzou. You don't see that mentioned in any of the old texts, but what you do find is that Abyzou is a mythical female demon possessing snake or serpent-like features.
Yeah.
And it's off. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
It has a lot of names like Abyzou. It's also been related to Lilith of the Jewish and Christian traditions. One book suggests that her name is the corruption of the word abyss, while another implies Abyzou is the mother of Satan, and yet another even relates that early scholars believe that snake cults were inspired by a racial memory of an antediluvian species of anthropomorphic snakes. Lord have mercy. An idea soundly rejected by science today.
Of course. Just the term antediluvian is ridiculous. Mr. Wallace, you had mentioned the Hall of Records. You wanted to look for something?
I was looking into these names. I wanted to look into these names, see who they all are. but we may have found that here with the property records.
I do think one thing that we might could try doing, the vagabonds about the city see a lot more. I know I've used them several times than others do because they pay attention to everything. Maybe they've seen some of these robed figures walking back and forth from these cult members. We might can press a few of them, put a few coins in their pocket.
Close to some of the areas where the entrances were or are, and see, yeah, the men there, the people coming and going. Great idea.
That's a good idea.
So we have a few good ideas. So how are we going to move forward? What's the next play?
Well, Professor Xavier, you're an archaeologist, so you and I share a lot, anthropology and archaeology. I'm most interested in these vaults.
We have to get into one.
Well, who's to say if we find an entrance that's blocked up that we don't unblock when nobody's
help it
looking?
along? Yeah, it's not the first time I have done that.
I've never done spelunking, but it might be a good time to start.
Well, from the way they sound like they're paved, so they're vaults, not caves. Oh, yeah, so survey of the area. This, I assume that you've got Edinburgh Castle on the hill, and then around it there'll be entrances for where the vaults would have been inside the mountain. Let's see if we can find some of these places. Maybe one of them's easier than others to get in.
So you can easily find a sealed up entrance to the vault. And some of them are even open or have been broken open by dumb kids or people who just want a place to sleep. Not everyone in there is a criminal. Some people are just trying to escape their circumstances. If you go in, I'll say you can safely go in, and it's just pitch black. You may be safe, but you don't feel safe.
It's getting late. Let's gather resources, what we think we'll need when we go down in there, torches and...
Oh, we don't want to go down the dark hole without supplies? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no.
No.
I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
Perhaps we should get some rest. Some backpacks and some extra food.
Except everybody's got the torch.
So you're more than welcome to sleep at the EPS. When you go back, McAlpin meets you in the lounge as you're coming in. He's like, "So this, I took that powder that you wanted me to analyze. It's an odd mixture of DMT and king cobra venom."
What's DMT?
A hallucinogen.
It's a psychoactive compound, Professor Hargrave. A strong one at that.
With cobra venom, of all things. The snake connection.
Well, what is snake coats, Professor Hargrave?
Is this something common, or you've heard of it before? How did you determine it was the items are in it?
So it was easy to test for DMT. It's known to us in science. Now the venom, that was what took me so long. I couldn't, there's no real way to recognize it. And the only way that I could recognize it is how it reacted to blood, obviously.
Well, let's retire for the evening. and get back on this in the morning. Figure out what supplies we need. And we need to make an attempt to map out as we go so that we don't get lost.
Agreed.
Archaeologist and an anthropologist should be able to figure out some cartography.
Well, I do know this might not be exactly helpful because it might all be the same, but I do know a fair bit of geology too.
Oh, well, then you'll understand, yeah, if we're walking into a dangerous area that's going to collapse. And maybe we can bring some chalk and make chalk marks on the walls.
Yeah. I also don't know how helpful this might be, but DMT, anything has a hallucinogenic like that, and cobra venom, those aren't things you just find on the store shelf in Scotland.
Certainly.
If we can find out where those are from, maybe we can find out how they're getting them. That might give us a few answers.
I don't think that there are any cobras indigenous to the Americas, so they would have had to have come from various places in Europe, perhaps Egypt, perhaps India, even.
I know a lot of opium is brought in from out of the country and other things. Those things attract. Perhaps we can find out how this substance is made, where it comes from. And
I'm afraid
from there.
I'm afraid since it's cobra venom, Mr. Murphy, you may have been very lucky. In high doses, that would kill you, I would think.
Just going through what they did, I don't feel very lucky, but you're absolutely right. It could have been much, much worse.
All right. We'll get together in the morning then.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so you guys are retiring at the EPS to sleep. You all have rooms on board. Is there anything you want to do before you go to bed?
Drink.
After what I've been through, I'm definitely going to be drinking before going to bed.
I'm going to use the ancient practice of shadow boxing in my room to tire myself out.
Okay.
I'm
So
going to find the tallest ale I can get.
So while he's shadowboxing, you two are drowning your sorrows. The bar is open pretty much as long as you want the bar to be open because it's a private bar.
Sure.
So that's either a good or a bad thing depending on who your character is.
Oh, I'm Scottish. That's not a good thing at all.
So
I take that as a challenge.
We're sharing war stories as we're getting progressively tipsier.
yeah. So McAlpin introduce you to the bartender. You may already know him if you've been visiting Ashbury. But his name is, oh Lord, Gordon Killian, and he fills every request, every order that you need, but he looks very nervous while you guys are sitting here trading war stories.
I wonder what got him going.
I don't know. Does he have a tattoo on his arm?
You can't see because he has long sleeves on and those little frilly things you put at the bicep to make your arms look bigger because you're a bartender.
Yeah. The garters.
Garters, yeah.
I will continually attempt to catch a glimpse, if I can, as he serves us our drinks. But obviously, if I can't see it.
I'll look at the what arm was the tattoo on the person that attacked me, as well as on the
left wrist. It's always on the left wrist, or at least that's what you're picking up on.
And what'd you say his name was again?
Part or this part?
Gordon Killian.
Like on the inside or outside? You said other wrist.
Inside.
Inside.
Mr. Gordon, I'm going to feign being more drunk than I actually am. Mr. Gordon, how about you fancy an arm wrestle with a good Scotsman? And I put my left arm on the table and roll my sleeve up. I tell you what, if you win, I'll buy you a drink. If I win, I'll buy you a drink.
It wouldn't be appropriate, sir. I'm here to work. I'm sorry.
Maybe next time.
I'm sorry. Yeah. If you want another drink, I'm happy to pour you one. How about a double?
Sure, I'll take one.
All right. So he gives you a double of some good scotch, and
So I'm going to try a trick. And my trick is when he is doing something for Alistair that involves his right hand to do it, I'm going to ask him for something that the logical thing for him to do would be to use his left hand and hand it to me. With his hand like that, maybe I'll get a glimpse.
okay. So you get a glimpse.
Do a luck roll if you want.
Yeah, I think that's proper for this.
I got a 56 out of 60, so just barely.
So you don't see the mark.
Okay. We don't have to kill him.
Thank you for not killing my NPC. And then Malcolm is just killing air, all the NPC air villains in his room right now.
Is there anybody else in the bar with us besides the bartender?
There is. Let's see. What is it? The other doctor is here. Dr. Albans, and he's sitting in one of the chairs and smoking and kind of like staring at you guys at the bar.
I'll look at him and I'll look over at you and kind of cock my eyebrow. What's he doing here?
No. But I'm trying very hard not to pick up your accent as I'm getting progressively drunker. I don't know. Maybe we should get off to bed. We got an early morning.
I just tried to arm wrestle the bartender. I think I need to go to sleep.
I took a look. I don't think he's got any tattoo.
Well, that's a good thing.
We're becoming a bit paranoid.
That way we don't have to kill him.
Yep. So I think we're going to wrap up and go to bed.
Okay. So Albans is going to leave the room before you. As he leaves the room, there's like a noticeable change in the body language of the barman. He kind of leans over. It's like, you lot are going to get me fired. I'm just
drinking.
I'm just here to drink, and I know you. I was here when Ashbury came in through the door. I locked the door behind Ashbury. I double checked after Ashbury locked it. There's no way that he should have that someone could have got through that door. I really don't want to talk about this after this because my job is on the line. Albans has already threatened to fire me.
Well, we're sorry for that if we've caused you any inconvenience. Because he doesn't believe you?
Because he just wants it under the rug. He saw the same things we saw, but he doesn't. He kind of like stops and like looks at the door because he thought he heard something, and you all heard like a creak in the floor, kind of makes the room go quiet for a second, and then he kind of goes back talking again. It was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like I said, I locked the doors myself. Professor Ashbury was going on about these strange doings underground, and suddenly I have this damnedest feeling like a storm was coming. Then boom, those big front doors of ours, they came bursting in, and I promise you, on my mother's life, I know they were locked. And then things went really strange. This queer old bloke walks through the doors. He was a right wee thing, he was, but I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. He was glowing like he was glowing like a street lamp as he was walking through the room. Everyone was terrified, everyone was screaming. Ashbury was in an awful way. He was shaking and shrieking in his chair. And then the old chap looks right at the professor and says, "Your mind is broken." And he just turns and he walks away. And after that, it proved to be true. The professor was out of it, and he hasn't spoken another word since.
You
Saw
say
this
he's a-
man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So you say he's a wee man. Is little or he's young?
He was small.
This,
About what, 4 foot something?
4'11",
Or
maybe.
well, that's almost
And-
a leprechaun.
Describe his
4'11".
face.
I can't
Was-
remember his face. I just remember screaming.
Did he have a beard?
I don't remember his face.
How strange. What
And
was he
all of these-
wearing?
I'm sorry, Harry, 2 questions
What-
at once.
What was he wearing?
Long, flowy robes,
What
Like
color?
like silk, almost like a blue.
Blue. Blue silk.
Were they disheveled or were they clean?
They were perfect.
And all of you saw
you-
the same thing.
We all did, but Albans is he's in denial because he's trying to protect the society, and rightly so. If this got out, they would be the laughing stock of the city.
But you couldn't see his face. Was it because it was bright? Because
Yeah, he was glowing like he had an aura.
did he have anything in his hands?
No,
And there was anybody with him as part
No.
of some sort of... I mean, I'd almost imagine a wizard or something like that.
You say wizard, and Alistair just kind of chuckles a little. If you'd have said a ghost, I might have believed you, but a wizard? That's a little stretch.
Well, the man comes in glowing. He casts some sort of curse on poor Ashbury and then leaves.
Did he cast a curse or did he cast a white powder?
Well, I guess it's a mystery at this point. But somebody at least pretending to have magical powers or, well, actually having some sort of magical powers. That substance that you breathed in, obviously the parts of it are extremely exotic. You say nothing that you could just get off the street somewhere. You couldn't just go to an apothecary and buy the ingredients.
No. And you say it was just his face was glowing or his whole body was glowing?
it was his whole body.
Well, that's
So you
strange
didn't-
indeed.
You didn't actually see any skin of any kind then, no?
No, not really.
Just light.
Yeah, but that's all I know. And again, I even went behind the stairs back, and I went to the police, and I let them all the information I knew because I felt like no one was even going to the police. They laughed at me, and the ones that didn't laugh at me, they threatened to give me a beating. There's a lot of problems happening in the city. People disappearing, people fighting, and they weren't trying to hear it.
And who's threatening your job now?
My boss,
Mr.
Albans.
Albans. I wonder if he knows more than what he's letting on.
I think we might need to ask him some questions.
I can barely keep my eyes open now. We need to go. We're not thinking clearly.
No, and clearly we're going to have great dreams tonight. So,
So that's what we'll do. Retire.
All right, so you're going to retire for the night and begin the day anew, fresh, to jump back onto the trail. We got about three good plans that we're gonna do the next session, but we're gonna end it here, and then we'll go into section 2 next week. But great job, guys, very good job. And yes, Malcolm, I need you to just punch air for the next week. I need you to stay in character. I need you to commit.
Our players included Stefan Amsheed, Timothy McChunkin, Shane Hartman, Sawyer Hill, and myself with Joseph Clay as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.